This episode of the Fandom Zone is brought to you by Tweaked Audio.
To get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
You look really familiar. I've seen you before, haven't I?
Barry.
Barry.
Barry Allen.
Right,
It's fine.
sorry.
Some people are just meant to be in your life.
What am I gonna do with you?
Well, I can think of a few things. Might need a stretch first, though.
You told me the dead don't want anything. Either I'm willing to do whatever is necessary, or I shouldn't be out there at all.
Which is exactly why I can't be.
You can't kill murder. You can't get revenge on evil. You can only fight them where they live.
Shoom! X-Men!
That's right.
Hi, everybody. Wow, we got the new Season 3 theme, even though we haven't actually launched Season 3.
No,
But we got a sneak previews.
Right.
We got Christmas came early to the Fandom Zone.
Mm-hmm.
So, hi, I'm Charles Skaggs, and obviously our wonderful Karen Lindsay is here.
Hello,
Hello, Karen.
team editor extraordinaire.
You are. I am constantly blown away when you surprise me with this stuff. I haven't previewed it in advance, so I was just hearing this for the first time, just like you out there.
Yeah.
And
Heard it already.
I thought it was great.
Oh,
So,
thank
loved it.
you. Like the
Lot of
clips
fun.
and everything?
You actually did 4 sound clips.
I did. Because they were shorter than normal, so.
Good point. Yeah.
So we got The
worked.
Flash.
Right.
We got Lucifer.
Right.
We got Arrow.
Got that.
And then we got Gotham.
Oh, very nice.
Yes, that was David Masseuse.
Okay. I was trying to place that last one, so good. All right. Excellent. Excellent. So welcome to episode 71, everybody, as we just are now hitting the home stretch of our summer season
Mm-hmm.
toward the fall season and kind of tidying up loose ends for the week. Oh, I was just going to say for the week ending August 5th.
Or whatever, August.
Or whatever, yeah, because we're kind of a little late, but yeah.
Would say that. However, we're really just playing catch up. So these are.
We did because we kind of reshuffled the deck a little bit last time with Preacher with our special Gone to Texas episode.
Right. And since we will have some time between now and when the season starts, the way we've spaced it out, this actually works out exactly right. I looked at our database, and if we do the 7th episode of both of these episodes, we hit the season right in time.
Exactly. So we don't really have much in the way of skip weeks now.
Right.
So unless we double up.
Exactly. So
then we get back on track. So as long as we're going to cover Outcast and Wynonna Earp and for the next few weeks. And that should take us all the way to when Fear the Walking Dead premieres.
Right. And we'll overlap with Wynonna Earp pretty much.
Yeah. Well, just as we end Outcast, Fear the Walking Dead will start up.
Right.
And then Wynonna Earp will carry over.
Right.
For a few weeks. And then that will end. And then we got a bunch of shows.
Right. And then Fear the Walking Dead will taper out.
Right.
And then we'll taper back in with a million shows.
Yeah, because we got the Flash, we got the Arrow, we got the Legends of Tomorrow, we got the Supergirl, we got Lucifer, Gotham, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and Luke Cage is starting up. And
Luke Cage is in October, late October, right?
I think it's early October, but yeah, somewhere.
Early October?
Couple weeks into October.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man.
It's coming.
I know.
Because we're already here. What is today? August 8th?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so the year is flying by.
Today.
All right, so let's dive right in. We got a couple episodes here. Like I said, we're playing catch up. We're going to cover episode 7 of Outcast and episode 7 of Wynonna Earp.
That's right.
All right. So let's start with Outcast.
Sure.
Episode 7, The Damage Done.
Mm-hmm.
Written by Nathaniel Halpern and directed by Lee Janiak.
Okay.
So, and what's our A, B, and C, Karen?
We have ABC and bonus for both of my shows this week. A story is Kids Draw the Darndest Things.
Right.
B story
With
is
the jello pudding. Oh,
let's not do that.
oh, sorry about that.
We should not reference him. Hold on.
Sorry, everybody.
Where is that?
Phrasing.
Yeah, exactly.
B story is Trailer Trash back instead of Flashback.
Right.
C story is Penta Damn.
Nice. Very nice.
And our bonus is Payoff Schmayoff.
I think Pentadam is my favorite of those.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that's my favorite of the week, I think. I like that one.
You.
All right, so Kids Draw the Darndest Things.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, we've got, let's see here. Let me look over the notes because it's been a while since I watched this episode.
Kyle and Allison.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because Allison, with her daughter and Kyle's daughter Amber.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we had like this little sequence where Allison is like flashing back to the day when she kind of figures out that not Kyle, abused Amber.
Correct.
Which is kind of a big moment in the show.
Hmm.
So where it's like, oh, guess what? Hey, Kyle, who you've put all this blame on and made this like completely ostracized in the entire town. Well, guess what? He didn't abuse your daughter after all.
Right.
Don't.
And he's kind of taking it for you.
Pretty much. He's taking the bullet for you.
Right.
And
yeah.
With no thanks whatsoever.
Right.
Yeah. So we have Allison. I guess she's watching Amber draw. Like she's got like her little piece of paper or something on the floor, and she's kind of coloring or something and drawing.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like a picture of Allison and Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
And interestingly, Amber is with Kyle, while Allison's kind of off in the distance in the picture and has no face.
Right. Because she doesn't know which face to draw.
Yeah, that was such a great line.
Yeah, it was.
It's that line spoke volumes coming out of a little girl's mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much. So yeah, Allison ends up finding like a really disturbing drawing in Amber's closet of her with the black goo coming out of her mouth.
Right. And that's kind of what prompts the actual flashback of her choking her daughter.
Yeah, so that was fun.
Yeah. And then she kind of...
Here's mommy vomiting up a demon.
Yeah. And that's when
let's put that one on the fridge. What do you say?
I'm guessing there's some guilt happening there.
Just a little bit.
Because not only is she abusive towards her daughter in that flashback, but now everything's hitting her. Okay, I have blamed all this on Kyle.
Right.
And Kyle's taking the brunt of it, and the whole town thinks that he's an abuser. Mm-hmm. And now he can't see his daughter, and I've been cruel to him all this time. And, so everything's just piling on her in this moment, which is, it has to be bad, right? I mean,
pretty much. So, yeah, that wasn't really good. So, we have, let's see what else here. I think that's all I had about that.
There's a little bit more though. She, decides that she's going to let Kyle see her.
Right.
See Amber, right?
Yes.
So she brings Kyle home, and they, there's a bit of this.
Oh yeah, bow chicka bow.
Okay, why?
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
Oh yeah. Guilt sex.
There's a bunch of this going on, right?
Yep. That's the instead of makeup sex, it's like sorry, I thought you abused our daughter sex.
Exactly. And it was okay, it was hot,
Right.
but it was also that kind of almost a I love you sort of intense.
Well, the vibe I got from it, and then you can tell me if I'm wrong here, but the vibe I got from it was we've been apart, obviously estranged, and it's like we realize how much we really love each other, or how much we really enjoyed being with one another.
Yeah.
And maybe it's probably like I'm guessing it's been a long time for Kyle.
Yeah.
And apparently it's been a long time for Allison as well.
I'm sure that was the last time either of them.
So yeah, so they're
stepped
just
out on him.
like, oh yeah, I forgot how great this was.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was just very touching to see them together. And then of course he wakes up the next morning and Allison is gone.
Yeah. Yeah, then that gets really awkward because Kyle ends up being left alone with Amber.
Right.
Or Amber gets left with Kyle essentially while Allison takes off.
Right. So to be continued in that.
Yeah, and Amber's telling Kyle that she doesn't want to live with Allison anymore.
Right. So there's.
And then Kyle kind of sits Amber down and he's like, he says that something else was controlling her mom.
Right. And not to hate her.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, that's the theme that's been running through all this, that, Kyle is definitely the better person.
Mm-hmm.
And he's very much trying to keep Allison a good memory for his daughter.
Right.
And hopefully she'll forget all of that at some point. But he knows that relationship's damaged. He's just trying to repair it any way he can.
But the problem is there's it almost seems a futile gesture on his part.
It really does. It does.
Especially if there's more going on with Allison.
Right. If she's remembering stuff and...
Yep.
So, and again, I haven't seen past this one.
Right.
So.
And interestingly, though, Allison is she's not affected by Kyle's touch.
Right. So she mustn't be.
So presumably she's not still possessed.
Right.
But obviously maybe.
I mean, she has to still be.
Unless Amber's sensing something that's still there.
Well, and she was choked by her mother.
That's I mean, I get it. Well, trust me, I get it because yeah, and obviously, Kyle being treated the same way by his mother.
Right.
So it's almost like this is being passed down.
Right.
Unfortunately, and if you notice, like there's all this cycle of abuse is just circling Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's gone on from like his mother, now like its wife, and it's everyone immediately around Kyle.
Right. Yeah, and he knows that Allison wasn't in control, so he really has to justify it to his daughter. But there is that thing that he wants to save her from all this because of what he went through. So there's a lot of conflicting things with him.
So do you think Kyle is more in love with Allison than Allison is with him?
For leaving? I don't know. Maybe. He's in love with his daughter.
See, I thought that Allison left to protect Amber.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So, but I mean...
But I do think that Kyle is definitely doing what he's doing for Amber.
Right.
More than anything else. But he does want to save Allison's face.
Right. Reputation.
Right.
Yeah.
Because she's still his mother and still her mother. And Kyle knows that it wasn't her fault.
Right. But Allison, now that she knows this, really should kind of do Kyle a solid and go, everybody, I guess I was mistaken about this. Sorry, my bad.
You should.
But
Yeah, but is she gonna? Because she would have to implicate herself.
that's true.
So there's
So, yeah. Would she take? I'm pretty convinced that Kyle would take the bullet for her, but I'm not convinced that she would take the bullet for him.
Well, he did take the bullet for her.
Well, yeah, but
so yeah.
yes, okay, but my point is, Allison.
I don't think she would.
I don't think Allison would take the bullet for him.
No, she just ran away. I mean, we've already kind of seen that she just kind of, I'm out. I'll protect you guys, but I'm not sticking around to take the blame for it.
Yep.
Or to stand up or take my lumps.
Yep.
Okay, so do we want to do trailer trash back or Pentadam?
Let's save Pentadam because that was really good. So yeah, let's do trailer trash back.
Trailer trash back. That's
I'll take trailer trash back for 100, Alex.
Well, that's pretty much just Ogden and his wife.
Yeah, right.
So
yeah, with Chief Giles.
Oh yeah, Giles thinks that Ogden is possessed.
Right. And that's where he shows up for this poker game.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like totally doing the cop grilling. He's doing the cop, trying to feel out and see if he can get him to open up to admit to something.
Right.
About that trailer fire.
Right. And ultimately he does.
Yep.
He says he did set the trailer on fire, but leave it alone.
Right.
Yeah. Don't ask me any more questions about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Giles, he gets a hold of Kyle.
Right.
And he thinks that, hey, I think Ogden's possessed. Can you do something about that?
Right. So he has Kyle, go and figure it out. Kyle touches him and nothing.
Yep.
Right. Exactly. And so Kyle's kind of, shrug.
Yeah. And Giles is just like, awkward.
Exactly.
That whole bit I was going to arrest you for and stuff? Line.
Yeah, not so much. But, then he touches his wife and ouchie.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, guess what? It's not Giles or not Ogden after all. It's Ogden's wife.
Right. So, covering? Is he covering for his wife?
Possibly. I would say so.
Yeah.
I think that's a very astute observation.
Yeah.
But, so, yeah, that's, I think that...
Does he know his wife is possessed, or does he think his wife has just done something horrible?
I can't imagine he would... I mean, that's not the first thing you go to.
No, but he might know that there's some weird things going on. There are some people in the town that know that weird things are happening, right?
That's true. I guess we need to know more.
Right.
Because how much does he really know about what has been going on in town?
Right. There are people that know that Anderson has been talking about exorcisms, and some people might have it in their mind that exorcism. Oh, by the way, I wanted to let you know, I'm sorry about your favorite lady last week.
My favorite lady?
Mildred.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry about her last week.
Yeah, I'm going to pour out one for Mildred, one for my homie.
Yeah, I'm very sorry about that.
Yeah.
I wasn't here to say I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
She's gone. Okay, so anyway, that's pretty much it for that one, right? He had to pull.
I didn't expect her to last long, but actually, she actually lasts longer in the comics. So I'm kind of surprised that, she's dead. They killed her off early, but
a little bit
maybe she had to leave so she could go film in Twin Peaks.
Could be
Twin Peaks. Could be.
Yeah. So he also touched someone at the Remembrance ceremony and had to pull his hand back.
Right.
Well, was that a named person?
Let me see. Notes.
It was just some guy.
Just some guy. Yeah, I think. Yeah. As far as I could tell, it's just some guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
I think it might have just been to remind us that when he touches possessed people, he gets a weird
right.
Right.
And it also just to show you how deep this demon conspiracy goes.
Right. That there's a lot of people.
It could be anyone.
Right.
And they're everywhere.
Right.
So,
so he's filing that away in his head that this person and this person and this person. So it's Ogden's wife and this other person and all this.
He really needs to start keeping track of this, like with a board, like a bulletin board or something.
With the strings.
Yeah, strings. Yeah, like okay.
Yeah. And with X through this person.
This person's connected to this person, and like it's the whole big thing.
With like a whiteboard. That would be awesome.
That would be great.
Okay, so Pantadine.
Yeah. So unfortunately, Karen wasn't here for the big hack job that Sydney did on Reverend Anderson.
I saw it.
You saw it, but you weren't here to talk about it.
Oh, but ouchie.
Yeah. We were last time we left off with Rev. Rev got carved up.
Yeah,
seriously, like a Thanksgiving turkey with that Sydney carving that pentagram into his chest.
Sydney's not a nice guy.
Yeah, Sydney's just like owned.
Yeah,
you're pwned. Yeah, you're totally pwned, dude. So Reverend Anderson obviously not dealing with it well.
No,
in this episode, big time. So.
I like.
We didn't really discuss this, but it's the setting for this episode is this big Remembrance Day,
right,
in town,
where people died in the coal mines, and they're remembering. I'm sorry, coal mines.
Yeah,
they're remembering the people that died there, and they're like having the ceremony, and it's they put these. I guess they're pieces of coal that they write.
Yeah, it's almost like they write tape messages to the pieces of coal and they put them in a pile or something.
Right. And there's this scene about how Kyle did work there.
Right.
And he was let go or something, and that there was this whole thing about like Allison, and he said that there was a reason why he was let go, and it was in order to have their daughter. And that was a conversation that was had in this episode. But it revolved around this whole Remembrance Day thing.
Yeah. And the kind of vibe I got that was actually demon related or demon caused, maybe.
Or maybe that's where they came from.
It's like some dark place that maybe like in Lord of the Rings, they dug too deep.
Yeah. Or it was some sort of a connection between, I don't know.
Or it's like some really important place to the demons that was disturbed.
Disturbed them, yeah.
Yeah, and it kind of like riled everything up. And
it made Kyle leave. Like he couldn't take working there anymore, so he left.
Yeah, so I wouldn't totally write off that mining accident. I would kind of see if there's more to this or not. I don't know that there is.
Right, me either.
So I've read it, I've read about 17 issues of Outcast. I haven't seen really any mention of it.
No, me either.
But if this is something for the show, who knows?
Exactly.
This could be like brand new for the show.
Yeah, that would be an awesome twist.
Yeah, and actually kind of Twin Peaks-ish. To be
kind of.
Because of the Owl Cave. But,
right.
But
hey.
Yeah.
Imitation is the
sincerest form of flattery. Yeah, exactly.
So,
hey, if you're going to swipe from the best, say aye.
Okay. I promised you I'd watch it, so.
Yeah. But you said you got like a jillion things, so I'm not gonna you said not to hold my breath.
I promised.
Okay. All right. But I believe you.
Yeah.
I believe you. Okay.
I got some time this week, maybe.
All right. Yeah. When you're late, it's really late at night and you're kind of half asleep or something. You throw it on and
okay.
Yeah.
Will do.
Embrace the weirdness. That's what I recommend.
I read 4 books the other day. I really should have watched it.
Okay. All right. Well, so let's not get on the Twin Peaks thing because I'll be talking about that forever.
What is this bizarre segue?
Yeah. I was working on it.
No, I know. Okay, so the cutting.
Yes.
That scene.
The pentagram.
Crazy.
Before I got off that, a huge tangent. Sorry about that.
One thing I wanted to say about the scenes this week.
Yes.
When they opened this episode, it was with Anderson and the him patching himself up and everything.
Right.
Cinematography here, which was kind of 7-ish, with the
Yes.
shaky cameras and the flashing and all that. It was amazing looking, I
I
thought.
thought that scene where he's in the bathroom
Mm-hmm.
and there's all these like little pieces of tissue and whatnot,
Spot
the
and
blood all over it. The
yeah.
blood's everywhere, all over the bathroom sink and everything.
I thought it was really cool.
It did look very 7-ish. I will give you that.
Yeah, it
Very,
did.
very David Fincher.
And there was a lot of like blurry cameras, and then it would focus real quick, and then blurry and focus. And I really liked that.
Yeah, it was
why.
It was unsettling.
Right. It gives me the creeps, but I like it.
And that's good. That's good. So yeah, obviously the Rev is not dealing with this well. Like he ends up like going to that poker game we were talking about, and like ends up springing a leak.
Yep.
The bandages, and yeah, everybody's just like, dude, you're leaking in your chest. What's up with that?
What's going on there?
So yeah, he has to like, Reverend Anderson has to like own up to Chief Giles about what Sydney did to him.
Right. And then
which at that point you would think Giles would be like, okay, Sydney, I'm going to haul you in.
You'd think, right?
Because hey, you just had someone who accused you of assault.
Is that not assault?
Yeah, that's the definition of assault, I would say.
Right.
And it's not like the evidence isn't there.
Right.
Unless you think it's self-inflicted. But
who would do that to themselves?
Well, see, here's the thing though, because Reverend Anderson toward the end of the episode really loses it.
I know.
He loses his S.
Yeah, he does. He really does.
Because yeah, he shows up at that Remembrance Day, right when there's like a big unveiling of the statue. They pull the cover off, and oh, guess what? There's a pentagram spray painted onto the statue.
Looks exactly like the one.
Exactly. So like that's now obviously I'm thinking Sydney did the spray painting.
Maybe.
Just to get Reverend Anderson to freak out.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like Anderson's like pulling off his shirt, and he's like, "That man there," he's pointing to Sydney. He goes, "That man there did this. That's the devil. That man is the devil."
Right. Reminds me of Lucifer with that guy on the street.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so Anderson totally sounds off his rocker.
Yep.
At this point, and everybody just like,
big time.
Holy crap! Like especially when the moment where he rips off his shirt, and everybody's just like, "What?"
WTF, dude.
Yeah. Seriously.
Now there is that other scene where Anderson goes to the barber shop.
Right.
To Sydney. And that is a very interesting conversation they have where he decides to kind of turn the other cheek and invite Sydney to one of their poker games.
Yeah, yeah.
And it is quite the character study between the two of them.
It's well, the unspoken battle is on between these two.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of
because they each know what the other's up to, and they've taken their sides, and it's this battle of wills.
Right. It's like a chess move.
But right now, Cindy is pretty much owning Reverend Anderson at this point.
Right. Yeah, Anderson's trying to make a move, but I think Sydney already made his.
Yeah. And because he did it in such a traumatic fashion, it's totally thrown Anderson off his game.
Yeah.
And now everybody in town is going to doubt his motives, so that when it does come up, oh, by the way, hey, there's demons. See? It's like, oh, it's just Anderson being crazy again.
Anderson's nuts.
His credibility is shot.
Grab him. Anderson's nuts. Grab him. Get it?
Hey now, phrasing. That's a phrasing.
Phrasing?
Yeah.
From my secretary of phrasing.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, for those who don't know, I've declared my candidacy for President of the United States because I want 10,000 Twitter followers, just like this guy did when he announced his candidacy today.
Right. Exactly.
He had like 900 when he started. Now he's got over 10,000. So I'm just like,
Phil decided to put Charles on the spot and ask if Jesse or I would be his running mates. So
Yeah, so
very diplomatic.
he thought he checkmated me, but no, Charles comes up with the diplomatic out.
That's right. Actually, I was going to turn it down because I want no part of politics. Thank you.
I don't blame you. But you did say you'd vote for me over Trump, right?
Hmm. I'll vote for you over a lot of people.
So woohoo! I got that going for me.
A lot of people.
I got that going for me, which is nice.
Which is nice.
Which is nice. But sorry, I couldn't resist a little Carl from Caddyshack.
Perfect.
All right, thank you. So I was saying to the llama. No, sorry.
Let's just do the llama.
All right. All right. So payoff schmayoff.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Now, are you talking about Mark in the dash cam video?
And
yeah, right. Megan. Oh yeah.
Because Megan goes to pay off Donnie.
Right. She hawks everything. She hawks her wedding ring, and Scrunch is like, "This is all I've got, dude. Now go away."
Right. Because she knows she can't forget, but at least he could go away.
Right.
And apparently that goads him into talking to a lawyer.
Right. Because obviously he's got something on Mark. And next thing you know, Mark shows up. Chief Giles calls him in or whatever. It's like, hey, why don't you have a seat? Which is never good when they say, how won't you have a seat?
Yep.
At work.
And shows him the footage.
And shows him that footage on the dashcam video. And
which we predicted. Because
Mark's just like, oh.
He should have pulled him out of frame, dude. And so, he's been taken off of duty.
Yep.
And he goes home and
he's suspended and
tells Megan, and of course Megan is.
Yep. Honey, guess what? I got suspended from work because I beat the crap out of your rapist.
Right. And Megan tells him that she paid him off. She hawked everything.
Right.
Paid him off. She's mad.
It's very gift of the Magi, isn't it?
It kind of is. And then, she throws stuff. That scene, she is amazing in that kitchen scene.
Yeah.
That actress.
Yep.
And
I know you started off saying, "Oh, I don't really like Megan all that much."
Oh, she did great in that scene.
So she impressed you. She impressing you a little bit more now.
Yeah. Well, she's got more to work with, I think.
Yeah. And there's some interesting things coming up for Megan if they follow the comic.
Definitely.
So yeah, I'm not gonna say any more.
Yeah, but this is pushing her here.
She's getting pushed to her limit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, she's not going to ever forget, but there are some things that she might think will make her feel better.
Right.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, anything else that you think we didn't cover?
I think that's it.
All right. Pretty short and sweet.
Mm-hmm.
But okay. What was your rating for this episode?
I give it 8 blank faces.
8 blank faces. Very nice.
Hmm?
Yeah, I felt you feel really bad for Amber.
I do.
This poor little girl. It's like, everybody around me is crazy.
Yeah, not just that, but Amber doesn't understand. She can't get. I mean, she gets concepts really well.
Right.
She has a higher ability than a normal girl her age, but she still is like so unable to cope with that sort of thing. She,
my big question is, why doesn't Allison have Amber in child therapy?
Right.
Right.
She should have been anyway.
Yeah. If you think that your husband abused your daughter, or beat the crap out of your daughter, then I would think you'd want that kid to have a little counseling, right?
Doesn't want to be with you.
Yeah. And is drawing pictures of you with no face.
Put her in counseling.
Get counseling, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just saying.
Maybe it's a monetary issue.
It could be, but
still,
you can get I think you can get some kind of insurance to pick up a few visits at least, right?
Yeah, you'd think.
At least they do 4 or something, and then they cut you off. But
I really just feel terrible for her. She's She's suffering the most out of everyone, I think.
Right. Yeah, I think so too. It's always the innocents. But
I mean, not Megan, the kid.
yeah, Amber. Yeah.
Amber, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So okay, you got your rating. My rating, 8.5 out of 10 lumps of coal
They were all bad.
with a message on it wrapped around it. I guess.
Everybody in the town was bad. They all get lumps of coal.
Yeah, pretty much. Santa Claus is not down with Rome, West Virginia.
Nope, they are not. Yeah, it was a good episode. I just, for some reason, this week's 2 episodes were, I found myself wandering a little bit
Right.
off of them at certain points.
Did it help that we took the preacher break a little bit?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. Yeah, hopefully things. I mean, there's a lot that happened in Outcast this week.
Yeah.
So I think it's picking up.
Yeah, I like Outcast.
I think it's really good drama. So okay, let's move on to Wynonna Earp.
Let's do
Episode 7 of that as well. Walking after midnight. I go out walking after midnight, out in the moonlight. No,
I don't know the rest of the words. I mean,
hoping
I do.
you may be walking.
If I could think on
After
it.
midnight, searching for you.
There you go.
Patsy Cline,
Yeah.
which I cannot do justice, but at all. But go listen to some Patsy Cline. You'll thank yourself.
Yeah.
Walking after midnight, crazy. It's just you, or no? What's that song?
So lonely.
Yes, that's a good one. But what's that one? Something like "It's Just You" or something like that. It's a great song. Anyway, Patsy Cline digression. Sorry about that. All right, so "Walking After Midnight," written by Emily Andrus, showrunner, and Caitlin D. Friars, directed by Brett Sullivan.
Very nice.
And what's our A, B, and C?
A story is Stone Cold Party Crasher.
Stone Cold.
That's right. B story, When the Boss is Away.
Jesse will follow him because he's so wrapped up in Springsteen. Oh, sorry. Wrong boss. My mistake.
Wrong boss. C story is Unliving Proof. And our bonus is Mean Girls.
Mean Girls. Was Lindsay Lohan there or?
No.
Okay.
It was. I'm just talking about the party.
Rachel McAdams.
Just talking about the party.
Okay. Just talking about the party.
And poor Waverly.
Yeah, Waverly. Poor Waverly. All right. The socially ostracized Waverly.
I know,
because
right?
yeah, they were Mean Girls. I totally agree.
Because of the murder house.
Okay, so Stone Cold Party Crasher.
I'd go to her house just because she had a murder house. I would, seriously.
It would be interesting. And hey, it's not like the American Horror Story murder house.
That's right. Have you ever been to the Winchester Mystery House? Have you ever been to California?
I have been to California. I've been to Los Angeles and Hollywood.
Okay, it's in San Jose.
And I've been to San Diego for San Diego Comic-Con.
Okay, here's a little side note.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with the one on Earth, but it's very cool. If you ever go to San Jose, California, there's this house called the Winchester Mystery House.
Now, do you know the way to San Jose?
I do.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
It's 55 miles exactly from my hometown because it took us exactly an hour to get there.
Got it. And the way to San Jose. That just reminds me of Helix on Syfy for some reason.
Oh, okay.
If you ever saw that show.
I've heard that song because I was right there.
Yeah.
Okay, so San Jose, California, and it was owned by the widow of the Winchester guy, the guy who rifle.
Right.
And when he died, she had all this money and she had all this time in her hands, and she thought that as long as she kept adding on to her house, she would never die.
Oh.
So she kept building and building and building and building, and there in her house, there's like stairways that lead nowhere.
Nice.
And,
so it's almost like an MC Escher.
Yes, doors that open onto nothing, and
that's kind of what they did in American Horror Story Hotel this past season.
It's very much like that.
Yeah.
I think have taken their inspiration from that.
Interesting.
And, a lot of people say it's haunted. It's not. But I mean, I don't believe
But
in
it's
that.
cool.
Yeah. So if you're ever there in San Jose, you should go see it. It's a really awesome tour that they give of this house. And it's kind of creepy.
That would be a total mind trip.
It is.
To have like doors that lead nowhere.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That would be
It's
trippy.
a really cool house. So anyway, as a side note, it's
that's cool. I did not know that.
So check it out, Winchester Mystery House.
Excellent.
There's a site online if you want to see pictures of it.
Right.
Anyway.
Okay, so the Stone Cold Party Crasher.
Yeah.
Now, would this be the stripogram?
No, the Stone Witch.
Okay, the Stone Witch. Okay. I just was thinking Party Crasher, like he shows up at the door. Okay, well, that's a whole other thing.
She crashed the party.
That's true. Stone Witch
sent him.
Yeah. So basically, we get. Are you talking about like? We had the Stone Witch and her hired goons paying the blacksmith a visit. Is that what you're talking? Okay.
And then crashing the party.
Do you want to talk about the blacksmith part or the party part first?
Well, both.
Okay, well let's talk about the blacksmith part.
Let's do.
That happened chronologically.
Mm-hmm.
So Stone Witch has obviously got like this big animosity with the blacksmith. Battle of the magic users, apparently.
That's right.
So she goes to their shop looking for like the skull of one of her sons.
Right.
As we find out now, wasn't Waverly recently called or nominated for Keeper of the Skulls or whatever that was called?
Exactly.
So, I wonder if it's the same skull.
I wonder.
Yes, it's the same skull.
Call back.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right, so the blacksmith is like, I'm not saying diddly.
Mm-hmm.
Almost said S, so I caught myself.
Yeah.
So you're welcome, Rob. So the two end up getting this big magic duel, but it's on Syfy, and it's this Canadian production, so it's not nearly as cool as it should have been.
Right.
Little low budget, not really low budget, but it was a duel.
Yeah, I like the knife.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. I'll give you that.
The blue glowy knife.
I'll give you that. Yeah, that was cool.
Or
as I call it, Sting from the Lord of the Rings movies. But again, you haven't seen Lord of the Rings movies, so
sorry.
So you kind of miss on that big pop culture reference.
Sorry.
That's all right, because we are pop culture here at the Fandom Zone podcast.
I don't promise. Inside joke. I don't promise to see those. I may at some point see those, but I don't promise to see that.
I really recommend it because it totally all that crappy J.R. Tolkien.
Yeah.
It totally makes it better. It's
whatever.
It's good. It's good. If you like fantasy stuff and you like Warcraft.
Yeah, it's not just Warcraft. I mean, I like other fantasy stuff.
You should dig this.
All right. Well.
Watch at least the Fellowship of the Ring.
Is that the first one?
That's the first one.
All right.
If you watch that movie,
I'm not going to promise you.
It's the best movie of all three. Sorry, Return of the King fans. It's the best movie of all three. The first one is the best.
Like Empire's the best Star Wars movie? Empire is the best Star Wars movie?
Star Wars original is
like Empire's the best.
I respect people who think Empire's the best.
Okay.
But just for my own personal sake, I just enjoy Star Wars because it came first, and it was the one that captured my imagination. So it's my personal favorite. I'm not going to say that Star Wars the original is the best, but it's my personal favorite.
Okay.
Okay. And I respect anybody that thinks Empire's the best.
Empire's the best.
I get it. It's the best made.
Okay, yeah.
It's best directed.
Yeah.
So.
Can we just agree that Jedi is not the best of the three?
I think everybody's in agreement of that.
Okay, good.
Because Ewoks. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've established that.
Happening right now? Can we maybe...
Shut up.
What is this bizarre segue?
Shut up, you.
Can we maybe...
You said shut up, so I played it twice for you.
I know you did.
Okay, so
Blaine be working on my nerve.
you know that we're keeping that forever.
I know we are.
Okay.
I would be disappointed if we didn't.
Okay.
Because it wouldn't feel right if we did.
I know it wouldn't. We have to play it at least once every
we
podcast too.
I know. All right.
So the Stone Witch and Maddie.
Digression. Okay. Oh yeah. So the blacksmith ends up like succumbing to the Stone Witch's superior magic.
That's right.
And under torture, divulges the name of the holder of the skull.
Right. I was so disappointed by that too. I mean,
yeah,
Maddie is so.
Yeah, because he does basically this dehydration torture.
Yeah, and it's the first chance she gets to drink out of the thing, and she comes right out of the salt and drinks.
I know, but I think the way I see it is that she had to find out somehow so she could go after Waverly.
I know.
Plot wise.
I know.
But yeah, but you would think she would be a little harder to break.
You would think.
Yeah, you think it would have taken a lot longer than just like a 5-minute battle.
I wish they'd have made it look like she had been tortured more.
I agree.
Yeah, that's
I agree
part
with
of
that.
my issue with that.
I get it. So let's see, where we got Stone Witch. Okay, so yeah, later the Stone Witch crashes Waverly's party, or not engagement party, but was it engagement party?
It's an engagement party for one of her friends, yeah.
Right. Okay, that's what I thought. Sorry, it's been a while since I watched this episode. The Stone Witch shows up there. Was it here? They go terrorize Waverly and Doc, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, this is after Doc has shown up, and they think he's a stripper, so they're playing.
And Doc is fending off this zombie gang.
Right. Well, first Doc is playing poker with them, and they hear something, and
out in the barn outside.
Right. Maddie has shown up in the barn.
Right.
And Maddie has told him about the Stone Witch and given him a hangman's silk, and tells him that that's how he can weaken her.
Right.
So she gives him that he has to soak the hangman's silk in the Stone Witch's blood, and that will weaken her.
Okay.
So he takes that, and he goes back to the house. And she shows up. The Stone Witch shows up.
Right.
And then, Doc is in there. And it's important that Doc is in there because Doc is aiming his gun out the window, and she shoves her bodyguard in the way. And Doc shoots the bodyguard.
Right.
And then that's how she has someone to animate. So she animates that guy, and then the guy that came to deliver the package as the second stripper, quote unquote,
right,
tries to choke. What's her name?
Waverly.
Waverly, thank you.
You're welcome.
To choke Waverly, Waverly kills him, scissors him, as is said later in the episode, which made me laugh out loud.
Yeah, that's right. Now, because there was a great little setup where Waverly ends up sticking a pair of scissors in the back of her dress.
Right. Because she has to take the tag off of something.
Right, yeah, exactly. And you think, okay, well, that's a kind of a weird place to put those scissors.
Right.
But obviously it pays off later when Waverly takes those scissors out of the back at the opportune moment and stabs the dude right in the eye with it.
Exactly. In the head.
Oh, in the head. In the head, yes, you're right.
And so he gets... They forget he's there. So... Maddie gets animated because she's dead and outside, and the bodyguard gets animated. He's dead and he's outside, and they forget that he's dead inside the house, and he gets animated.
Right. So then Doc's fending all these guys off.
Right.
And then I've got where Waverly takes the skull, goes outside to confront the Stone Witch.
Mm-hmm.
And the Stone Witch is listen, little girl, Wyatt Earp killed my sons,
right?
And but they didn't rise because they weren't human,
right?
So what's up with that?
Right, they were better.
Yeah. So the Stone Witch ends up like threatening to take the skull from Waverly alive or dead.
Yep.
And then Waverly hurls this skull against like some wall.
The barn, yeah.
Yeah, the barn. And it shatters into pieces, of course.
And the Stone Witch throws her against the barn.
Yeah, not happy. Not happy at all.
And so that's when Wynonna shows up.
Right.
And both she and Doc shoot at her. And in that kerfuffle, she manages to get away.
Great word, by the way.
Right. Thank you. Wynonna ends up shooting the dagger out of her hand.
Right.
And because she ends up turning, and that's when Doc shoots at her, he only like hits her like in the arm.
I thought it was the shoulder.
Shoulder area.
But here's the big twist. All of a sudden, Doc starts bleeding from his shoulder or wherever.
Exactly.
So we find out that, well, if he injures the Stone Witch, whatever happens to her happens to him.
Right. That they're bound together.
Exactly.
And that's when he picks up.
So if he kills her, he kills himself. Drama.
Isn't that kind of what he wants? Right?
Maybe.
Right. And he was told, to get her blood and put it on the...
Right.
And he digs her blood up out of the snow to put on the thread. Mm-hmm. And that's when he finds out that he is also injured in the same spot.
Dope.
So there's that. And also there's that part when one of the... Oh, we'll talk about that later.
Oh, that part.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. Okay. So, what? When the boss
is away.
And this is where Wynonna and Officer
Hot
have some interaction together.
Yes. And this is kind of my favorite bit of the episode. This is what redeemed the episode for me really a lot. I mean, that and the whole like Waverly hosting the party.
Yeah.
That was the two highlights of this episode for me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, where is it here? So because they're not at Waverly's party, they weren't invited.
Right.
And Wynonna is not happy about that at all.
So they're commiserating together.
So yeah, so Wynonna and Officer Hot, they're like, they're at the headquarters. They're going through like a serial killing case, and they're kind of bonding in a weird way at first. Mm-hmm. So they found out the last victim was, they learned after talking with some forensic scientist guy, some Barry Allen wannabe.
Well, he's an ME, but he wants to be more.
That's true.
He definitely wants.
So maybe a Live More wannabe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's terrible.
Ravi.
He didn't notice the mark on her neck.
Yeah, pretty much. He was pretty bad because there's this glaring mark that anyone with any kind of vision would notice right off the bat, and he totally blows it. It's like, oh, I didn't realize that was there.
Yeah. It's a new, fresh sear mark into her neck of a spade.
What did you do? Like spend 20 seconds looking at her shoes? I mean, come on, dude.
I know. It's terrible.
It is pretty bad. So they find out that the victim was like had her organs cut open alive, organs removed, then oddly replaced. Then her wounds were cauterized shut by something of extraordinary heat.
That's right.
And and that imprint, that thing on her neck is a spade.
Right.
Which or a really awkward hickey, but
Earlier in the episode, when Dolls was still there before he gets called away, which again we'll talk about in a minute, she was looking at the picture of the 7, and it's the 7th that they're looking for now, and he has a cane that has a spade on the top of it.
Right. So this is technically the last Revenant, or last of the group of 7. Of the 7, yeah.
There's more Revenants, but these are the 7 that she really
had to kill,
Right. Yeah. She shows Doc in the beginning. She shows Doc, and Doc is unwilling to help her because he has Revenants coming after him one after the other because he's helping her, and he's like, I don't want to help you because I am getting heat for this. And she says, well, you're useless. And she goes to Dolls, and they look at it, and Dolls and she I guess this is the first time she's ever looked at it under a magnifying glass. You'd think they'd have already done that, but
Hey now.
yeah. So they find the spade, and then of course there's the spade on the neck. So I'm guessing that there's some tie between the two.
Very probably.
Right.
All right. So, they're while they're like examining this corpse, all of a sudden he gets interrupted.
All the serial killing victims all look like Wynonna,
Right.
and her nose keeps bleeding.
Yeah. What's up with that?
Oh. Okay, so go ahead.
Interesting.
So they get interrupted.
So yeah, they get interrupted by someone like going through the cooler where the bodies are kept.
Right.
And guess what? It's a diversion. Oh. So when they end up going back to the corpse after checking out what was going on, they find the killer was there and left his calling card, literally a card.
Gross.
In the corpse's now opened mouth. And of course, it's a ace of spades.
That's right. And her eyes are wide open too, which
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. It was a jack of spades.
Oh, was it a jack of spades?
I wrote it down as jack of spades.
Gross.
So yeah. And that's when Wynonna's nose starts bleeding. Weirdly.
Right. And it bled also when she was looking at the pictures with Officer Hot.
Something to do with the spade, perhaps?
Maybe.
Interesting.
I don't know, but it was gross.
All right. So, and let's see here. Then later on we had like Officer Hot conducting interviews at a crime scene, and
before we go on,
yeah, did I forget something?
Yeah, when they get back up after that, she and Wynonna are looking through the area to see if that person that went through the morgue had left any clues behind.
Right.
And they're both accusing each other of setting up, Officer Hot is saying, well, you get all the special cases. And then Wynonna turns around and she says, well, maybe you put the card in there.
Yeah, they do kind of get all of a sudden, and it's really weird. It just like happens in an instant where they start turning on each other. You're right.
Right. But I think Officer Hot's just jealous that she's getting all the special cases and all that stuff. So Wynonna is just lashing out at her.
Yeah.
So there's that little scene. But anyway, there's more.
And Officer Hot keeps asking about Waverly.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Say no more. Nudge, nudge. Wink, wink. Say no more. Oh yeah. So then at the end of the episode we have like Officer Hot doing interviews at the crime scene, right?
Right.
So then she's like, she's kind of suspicious about everything going on at the Earp place.
Right.
So Officer Hot urges Wynonna to basically tell her what's going on. And it seems like, they haven't quite become friends yet, but there's like the foundation there, maybe. So maybe they'll eventually, Wynonna will trust her enough to open up.
Right. Well, when they have that conversation there, after it's not Stephanie, Chrissy is giving a statement to her, and she walks away, and then Officer Hot says, tells her, well, it looks like your sister killed this guy that attacked them, and here's what happened. And then Wynonna says, well, I'll fill you in on all the stuff that's been going on. And Officer Hot says, well, what about your boss? And she says, well, my boss isn't here. And so that's when they get in the car. And then as the episode ends, when Doc stands up, and this was important, I thought, because it's a cliffhanger.
Yeah, it is.
The car goes by, the doors are open, the radio's on, and no one's in the car, and there's blood all over the doors.
Right. And it's kind of driving off, and Doc's like kind of chasing after the car.
Right, yelling Wynonna.
Yeah.
So something has happened to the both of them. But they were bonding.
Yes, they
And
were.
Wynonna was going to fill her in on what was happening. So we'll see where that goes.
Exactly. So you want to do a living proof?
Sure. And this is when Javier Dolls gets
Right.
called back by Lucado,
Right.
home base. Where's your proof?
Yep.
I gave you 3 months. Where's your proof?
That's true. So let's see here. Where,
Don't got any.
that's
I'm
true. I was trying to find my notes about that. Maybe I didn't write notes about that. That's awkward.
Let me find them. I got some here. I just got to scroll.
Sorry. I'm horribly unprepared for this episode. I feel bad.
We were talking at the beginning, and they're going to make a late night of it. So he's going to go get Chinese food, which I think is kind of funny, right?
Yeah.
And then he gets called away, and he has to call her and say, "Look, I got called away." And Wynonna's not happy about that. So when he gets called away, here we go. He meets with Agent Lucado, and she says, "I gave you 3 months to prove this demon thing, and you have nothing."
Right.
So I'm going to pull you from the case. Javier says, "I have human remains that are mummified by revenant saliva." And Lucado says, "No, sorry, no." And she leaves him and goes to some weird observation tower and leaves him sitting in this big warehouse room at the desk. So the next time we see him, he is sitting at this desk, and Lucado is listening to Wynonna calling him. So she's actually hearing that there's some sort of evidence about it, but not really. She still comes back and says, okay, so Wynonna leaves a message and says the last of the 7 is toying with her. Lucado is listening and watching Javier. Waverly calls Wynonna. Okay, so Waverly calls and and interrupts that. And then Lucado comes down to talk to him again and says, "Okay, I've made up my mind. We're pulling you from the case. Give me all your evidence. We're gonna, terminate the mission. And also, all your deputies, gone."
Right.
And he says, "Well, what if I have something more for you?" He says, "I have something bigger than demons or revenants, never before documented." And then she says, "I'm listening."
And then we're left hanging. Yeah, that's right.
And here, my guess is it's Doc.
That would be a good guess. Because, hey, here's actual proof of a revenant. So, yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm glad you had notes on that, because for some reason I just totally skipped that one. That part.
No problem.
I must have checked out at that point.
It's no problem. It was a really short, weird storyline.
It was.
And the Mean Girls.
That I've got some stuff on.
Okay.
Okay, so basically we've got Waverly having this party at the Earp place, and it's not going over well because only like 2 girls show up.
Right. To me, it sounded like maybe half the girls, because they said these other girls didn't want to come.
Yeah, because basically the other girls in the clique were just, they thought this is like Murder House, and they're like, "Ooh, there's no way I'm going to that."
Right. Why'd you move back in with her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and they're being kind of snotty about stuff.
Very snotty.
Yeah, like, "Oh, look at this old furniture. How horrible is this?" And blah blah blah. And
right.
Yeah, just really putting Waverly down in that mean girl way. But thankfully, Doc shows up comes to Waverly's rescue. And this is kind of like the first genuinely nice thing I think I've seen Doc do. Really.
Yeah.
Because he kind of takes pity. I think he maybe actually likes Waverly, or he feels sorry for her.
Right.
And doesn't like seeing her put down.
Either or, yeah.
So he comes in. He's like, "Hey, let's get a poker game going with my like 100-year-old playing cards."
Yeah. Plus, he can beat them.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So
right before he shows up, though, this had to hurt. they're asking her about Champ.
Right.
And she says, yeah, we're done. And Stephanie actually says to her, guys aren't really lining up to date an Earp.
Yeah.
And I went out.
And then they were like, oh, Champ's so hot. Why would you give that up?
Right.
You're an idiot.
Ouch.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's when Doc shows up to bring wood.
Yeah.
And he says, yeah, I've got some wood. And they're like, I bet you do.
Yeah. Yeah, because first they think he's the stripper.
Right. It was awesome.
Yeah. And then until like later when a Revenant shows up.
Right. I've got a package. I bet you do.
Yeah. And then they start like taking off his pants. And then he's like, okay, I guess I'll go with this.
Yeah. Yeah. So he sits down to play poker. And this is after Waverly has said something about, I know your tells or something like that. Right. And that comes up later also when she gets mad at him. But yeah, he sits down to play poker. And I like how, I don't know whether he's actually pulled a fast one in order to give her the best hand. But she has the best hand. And when he turns over her 2 kings, he winks at her.
Yeah. See, I think he probably did some sleight of hand there.
I think so too. I thought it was cute.
And I think maybe he's looking out for her because of his relationship with Wynonna.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
He's in love with Wynonna.
Apparently.
Yeah, I think he is.
We'll see.
Not enough to jeopardize his
quest for vengeance.
Getting killed by the Revenants, though.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So is there anything else we missed?
Well, okay. So at the end of the episode, or near the end of the episode, when Waverly is eating the food. Oh, also one of her friends goes outside and dies.
Yeah, because one of those mean girls becomes a zombie.
Right, Stephanie.
Yeah.
And the other girl goes upstairs and is on her side and says, I've always trusted you. And she gives her the idea to go outside with the skull because Waverly says, well, she's just a bully.
Yeah.
And so that's what prompts her to go outside. Okay, so
and then eventually she kind of unloads on the mean girls a little bit. She has enough, and then just was like, look, I live in a weird house, and I'm like the keeper of the bones or whatever, and the skull, and
over it.
Yep.
Yeah. And by the way, that's cubic zirconia.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Yeah. It was great. And that's why Stephanie goes outside. And then, of course, her neck gets broken. And bye-bye.
Zombie.
Right. So Waverly talks to Doc after she's eating all these leftovers, eating her feelings, essentially. And she realizes that Doc used her as bait to get the Stone Witch to show up instead of taking the advice from the blacksmith who had died out in the barn.
Well, because he was impatient. Because the blacksmith told him to wait, so that this would be, I guess this spell or something would be more like the Stone Witch would be at her weakest, so that she could be easily taken out or something.
Right.
And he didn't want to wait. He got impatient.
Right. So he let the Stone Witch come at Waverly before midnight instead of after midnight.
Right.
And he used her essentially as bait. And so Waverly got mad and, she started yelling at him and threw at him. You want to know what your tell is? You always lie. And I was like, oh, ouch. Ouch.
Damn.
Yeah. So there's that. And that's when Doc sulks outside and
or should I say pentadam?
Yeah. So he goes outside, he gets the blood and
yada yada.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a decent episode.
It was, there's a lot going on, and I did like Doc with Waverly. I love the whole sequence with the engagement party. I thought it was good, and then obviously Officer Hot with Wynonna drinking a bottle of whiskey or whatever, sharing a bottle of whiskey.
Yeah,
that was great.
I like the bonding.
Yeah, they're kind of like there's a corpse like on the table, and they're kind of slumped down at the bottom of the table, like commiserating with one another.
Exactly. I didn't get invited.
Yep.
Yeah, Wynonna because she's her sister, and Officer Hot because
she's
she
hot
wants
for her sister.
exactly.
So what do you think Wynonna's reaction is going to be when it becomes apparent that Officer Hot is interested in Waverly?
I don't think she'll have a problem with it, as long as Waverly's okay with it.
That's true. She'll probably
She'll
just,
want whatever's
just make sure that Waverly's cool with it.
right. She'll want whatever's good with Waverly.
I see. Okay. Fair enough. All right. What is your rating for this one?
I give it 8 pomegranates because that's what she tells dolls to say. If you're being held against your will, say
Right.
pomegranate.
That was good. I like that.
Yeah, me too.
That was good.
It made me laugh out loud.
That was good. So I give this one. I was a little more generous. I kind of like this one. I give it 8.5 playing cards in a corpse's mouth.
Gross.
Yeah, but cool.
It's only a half a point more than me.
No, but I would just say it a little more generous.
Sure. I took away because of that scene with the salt where she just crawls out of the salt.
Yeah, it wusses out.
Yeah, big time.
Yep.
And the fact that Waverly just like splashes a little bit of salt here and there around the house. Constance really could have gotten in, right? Through a window.
I would think.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So I guess that about, believe it or not, 2 episodes. We're done. Just like that.
Do we have any news?
We do have some news. The Supergirl, I posted this on Damn Good Coffee earlier today. Where I guess Supergirl has cast Stargirl,
Mm-hmm.
an actress named, kind of a younger actress named Sarah Gray.
Mm-hmm.
She's only 20, but apparently she's been on iZombie and Lucifer and a few other things.
Cool.
Almost Human, I think.
Excellent.
So apparently she's going to be playing Stargirl, one of the Justice Society of America.
That's right.
And they've already cast like Commander Steel and Citizen Steel, his grandson.
Mm-hmm.
And they already have Hourman. They're going to have the original Vixen, because the modern day Vixen is, her schedule has made her unavailable for season 2.
Right.
So they're like, oh, okay, she's got an ancestor that, our grandmother that used to fight crime as Vixen.
Right.
The Golden Age Vixen, if you will. And then apparently they're supposed to also cast, and they haven't cast yet, Dr. Midnight, who I'm really looking forward to because I'm a big Dr. Midnight fan.
Is that mid-night?
It's mid-night, Nite. So I'm hoping it's Dr. Charles McNider,
Mm-hmm.
the original Dr. Midnight, because we do have Rex Tyler, the original Hourman.
Right.
But if it's Dr. Peter Cross, the more modern day Dr. Midnight, I'm cool with that too. I like both characters. And then also going to have Obsidian, which is a really interesting choice because generally, like he's a member of Infinity Incorporated,
Right.
who were the sons and daughters of the original Justice Society of America. Because Obsidian was like, he's the twin brother of Jade, Jenny Lynn Hayden. And those two were the kids of Green Lantern, the original Green Lantern, Alan Scott, and the original Harlequin.
Right.
Which was a bad guy that the original Green Lantern fought.
Right. Hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So they've got Obsidian and with his shadow powers that could look really cool if they do it right. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we know they've done some good things with special effects.
Yep.
Already. So I'm anticipating good season this year.
It's definitely more promising. I mean, the whole Justice Society storyline has me geeked, and it should be really cool. I mean, if nothing else, just to see these characters. And I've never got to see Dr. Midnight in live action, so it was great. Mm-hmm. Nobody's.
And this morning or late last night, Stephen Amell tweeted a picture of Boots.
Right. Yeah. So yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Boots.
Well, it made me fangirl.
Yeah, so we had of course, Grant Gustin as the Flash, Amell as Green Arrow, of course. You had Katie Lotz as the White Canary.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fourth pair of boots was presumably Supergirl.
Supergirl, he confirmed that actually. And also Ray Palmer.
Right.
He was there as well. So
And reportedly Ray's getting a new Atom costume.
come on.
I know, I'm just kidding.
It was just him.
I know, I'm just kidding.
Horrible wig and beard.
It was. It looked like he was like straight on a desert island, on like maybe on Lan Yu or something. But yeah,
there's no flashbacks for Adam.
I know.
I don't want that to happen.
Exactly.
But yeah, I'm excited about that. I love that he tweeted that, to be honest, because I think it's kind of cool that he was just like, haha. Look.
Exactly. Oh, and they've been talking, apparently there are rumors already out that Flashpoint, which is, obviously going to be affecting the Flash this season for season 3, is also going to be, affecting like the other DC Comics shows.
Huh?
And might be the way they fold Supergirl into the main fictional Earth.
Right.
So we'll see if that
When he
happens.
thinks back to right,
They got to do something to fold her in there, because you got to have be able to cross these characters over now.
So he can't fix things 100%.
Yeah, I mean, there are going to be residual changes, and probably Supergirl will obviously be one of them.
Right.
Lingering, but
will she remember him?
That's a good question. I would hope so.
I would too.
Because it'd be kind of like frustrating, like, oh yeah, Barry would remember her, but she wouldn't remember him, and so we have to go through this whole introduction thing again.
Right.
And they introduced them to each other so well.
Right.
In the episode World's Finest in Supergirl season 1. Don't screw that up.
Right.
I just want Barry to bring Supergirl ice cream.
I know. That was so sweet.
Don't you want to see that?
That's so sweet. Okay, so here's the team up, though, right?
Yeah.
Supergirl hears the truck and says, "It's in Coast City or whatever."
Yeah.
Midvale.
Right.
On this street here, and then
you hear it playing, like the little bing, 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 little kid music, carnival music or whatever.
He runs and gets it and brings it back. They're a team. See.
Yeah,
she can
but of course, she has to go, ice cream, ice cream. So Barry takes off,
right,
all the way across the country, runs all the way back.
Right, exactly. And I did get all the clips, by the way, for the opening theme from all the San Diego Comic-Con trailers.
Right.
And they're all on YouTube. And I highly recommend you go check them out. They're all up. I mean, for every show, not just those shows.
Yeah, exactly.
There's not much in the way of spoilers.
No, because they were just mostly teasing the
well,
upcoming season.
Most of them have little pieces of.
Yeah, Supergirl didn't, though.
No, because I didn't take anything from there because there was
the Flash did.
That's quite a lot, actually.
The Flash did have quite a lot. So. And
Arrow has a little bit, but not as much as the Flash. The Flash has a lot, which means they're saving a lot too.
I think they skipped on Legends of Tomorrow too, right?
There's some stuff. I mean, they showed like the seats in the in the ship, and
big deal.
It's a big deal. Yeah, I think the Flash was the one they kind of went all out on.
I think so, because it's obviously the most popular show.
Right, and I think that's the crux that everything's gonna hinge on.
Yeah,
is the Flash. So, and they may have filmed that back to back with the. They may have filmed that earlier than the other.
That's true.
Stuff. So, but I'm really excited for the fall, at least on CW, and
that 4-part crossover between all 4 shows is going to be amazing.
I agree. And
supposedly is supposed to have a really like classic DC bad guy, but of course we don't know who that is yet.
No, don't. I'm dying to see who it is.
Yeah.
The Lucifer trailer looks great as well.
I have not seen that yet.
It's good. There's lots of Lucifer with different moods.
Oh.
We'll put it that way.
Interesting.
Gotham looks pretty decent, but there's a lot of last season, and then it kind of morphs into a few things from this upcoming season.
Right.
There's some good previews out there from Comic-Con, so
Yep,
it's very cool. So anyway, I just say that because I was combing through them for clips today for the theme. So.
And then of course you got the big movie trailers.
Right.
You got your Justice League trailer. You had your Wonder Woman trailer, of course, and so yeah, Doctor Strange, and
yeah, I watched those as they come out.
Yeah,
I didn't come through those for clips today though, so
that's okay. It's they're movies, not TV shows.
I didn't talk about those today because of that though. So.
Oh, okay. Was I talking about something I wasn't supposed to talk about?
No, I don't care if you talk about that. I'm just saying that's why I didn't talk about them, because I wasn't listening to them today.
Oh.
I was getting TV clips today, so.
I got you.
That's why I mentioned them.
Okay.
And we didn't have feedback this week, so I'm just going to play it.
Just because you want to hear the sound effect.
Yes, I love the sound effect.
Yep. Meanwhile.
That's right.
So, all right, we wrapped up early, so which is kind of...
To say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Okay.
There are some promo photos coming out.
Yes.
So watch our Facebook page, which we'll give out here in a second, for promo posts. And we've been steadily getting people liking all those pictures.
Every time I turn around, I go on Facebook, and there's like 13, notifications all at once.
Yeah,
and I'm thinking automatically, like, first thing I think of is somebody was liking photos in the Fandom Zone.
Yep. So I'll be putting up some of those. I think Gotham and Lucifer have new pictures, so I'll be putting those up today.
People do love those pictures you post, so that's good. It gets attention to our page, so I'm cool with that. I like it a lot, and obviously, if the people like the pictures, it's great.
I give them what they want.
Give the people what they want. That's all we're here about here at the Fandom Zone. All right. So, as Karen mentioned, if you want to get a hold of us, you can reach us at that Fandom Zone Facebook page on
Fandom Zone Podcast.
Fandom Zone Podcast on Facebook, or you can reach us on Twitter at Fandom Zone Cast.
Mm-hmm.
On the Twitter machine.
That's right.
And if you want to write us and send us some email, got the email, fandomzonecast@gmail.com.
That's right.
Where you can drop us a line and say hi and let us know what you think of the show. Let us know what you think of the cool new Season 3 theme.
Please do.
Or just say hi and let us know how you're doing.
I require your...
Feedback.
Your approval.
Oh, you don't need their approval, do you?
Sure. Approval would...
It's nice.
Approval would be nice.
Yeah, hopefully you guys like it. I thought she did an excellent job with it. So you can let us know what you think. So, Karen, where can they reach you?
They can reach me at Oliveria on the Twitter machine, and in my bio is a link to my blog, at which you can find all my other links.
Got it.
And you?
Of course, I'm at Charles Skaggs on the Twitter machine. Oh, yeah. I'll get my Barry White voice. Let it go.
Okay.
So, yes, I'm on at Charles Skaggs on the Instagram. Google Plus for all you crazy kids on the Google Plus. Facebook, of course. And my blog of geeky things. Damn good coffee and hot. Where I talk about all these shows and more. Oh, yeah. And I even got my Suicide Squad movie review up on Damn Good Coffee. So you check it out, baby.
Sweet Christmas.
Sweet Christmas.
Okay, so you know why I didn't
Was that great? I like that.
Yeah, you know why I didn't say for all you crazy kids on the Google Plus?
Right.
You saw, right? I took the last swig of my water.
You want the spit take?
I could not swallow it because I was laughing. If I had swallowed it before then, it wouldn't have gone down right, and I would have coughed.
I was hoping for the spit take. That would have been that'd been glorious.
I'm sorry, my computer's here.
I'll be like, print screen. I want to get a screen cap of this. All right, all right. So, all right, everybody. So next time, of course, we're going to talk about episode 8 of both Outcast and Wynonna Earp.
Correct.
And then after that, episode 9s and episode 10s, which will be the season finale of Outcast.
Right.
So,
and then 3 more of Wynonna Earp, which will overlap slightly with Fear the Walking Dead. And then we move into the next season of all the other shows.
All right. So I think that'll about do it right now. So we'll see you next time for episode 72 with the Fandom Zone podcast. No, I'm just going to say, all right. Yeah. Okay. Yes. The Parsec Award nominated, the Fandom Zone podcast.
We'll talk to you next week, everyone.
Bye, everyone.